What's going on here?
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Black Ops 2 Veteran Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the final section to Celerium. I've just opened up one of those special cases thanks to the perk I'm using, and I now have optical camouflage. But don't worry folks, if you're, if you don't have that perk and you did not open that chest, I will not be using optical camouflage, and I'm not too sure what the real benefit to this area might be, although if I had to assume, I would think that perhaps you can stealth behind everything and turn the robots off with a hack, because there's a couple sections through this game where if you can get to certain access points with that perk, you can control turrets, you can control robots. It can be a really powerful tool, and the reason that I selected it for the walkthrough is because it's the one you start with, and it's the one that everyone's going to be using until they get something better. And to me, that's just money in the bank right there, because one thing I always try to do with my guides is make sure that I do not put myself in a situation that you cannot be in. Because the one thing that is more frustrating than anything else is when you watch somebody do something on a guide and they succeed really easily when you're having a hard time, and it's because, or one of the things we tend to do is we blame, the things that are different, that are the reason why someone has success. So, for instance, if they're using a specific perk that enables them to, take more damage or whatever it does, but you believe that's what's getting them through that area and you don't have that perk, then it's frustrating because you immediately think, well, if I had that perk I could do this, but I don't, so it's bullshit. And by taking this one, it generally means that everybody can follow what I do, everybody can, use my words of wisdom, learn from my mistakes, and they can get through it with little ease. And look at this side, guys. You shoot through walls, it's so good. The only thing that's frustrating me here is the fact that I'm reloading every round, because this gun is, it's 20 bullets in the clip. It is intended to be a single shot weapon, but still, come on gun, have more bullets please. And also, on this game, you will still fail for shooting your team, and you're going to see me shoot my team a lot, because they just haven't figured it out yet. They really haven't figured it out. They need to put the team names above your team at all times. It can't just be when you aim at them, because by the time you've aimed at them, if they were a bot on Veteran, they could have killed you. So you need to punish first, ask questions later. And when it turns out to be fucking Sanchez, or whatever his name is, and you failed, there is nothing more frustrating. But luckily enough, you can shoot these guys quite a lot before the game fails you, and trust me, I shot them all the time, because you get in those situations where somebody runs up on you, he looks like every other terrorist you've been shooting all day, and you put 5 bullets in his jaw only for him to be like, "Friendly fire!" Even though technically he wouldn't be able to speak with that much lead in his mandible, but we'll let him off. Oh, and the secondary I'm using as well is amazing, and I would definitely recommend using it in different levels and using it a lot, because one thing I found on this game that I didn't want to rely on, because it would have definitely changed the flow of the guide, is there's ammo crates everywhere, and if you use the perk that I'm currently rocking, you'll open up doors and windows and things that'll lead to more ammo crates. So feasibly, you could spam really explosive weapons. You could just keep firing grenades, you could keep firing that secondary triple, grenade thing that I've got. You could play like, not a bitch because it's the campaign, but you could play like an explosive happy dude. And I refrained from doing this mainly so I could, show you a more coherent guide. But if you have no qualms against, World War III, then start blowing shit up, because this gun is fantastic. And the cool thing about it is, because it gets refilled at the ammo dumps, you always have a secondary launcher, and I definitely don't use it enough, because, look at this. This is nuts. I know the future is black, but the future's really all about wall banging when you think about it, because this is just madness. And over here is another use of the perk. This is going to let out one of those little robot dudes. And anybody who's concerned about this game, because the trailers made it look like you'd constantly be controlling robots and drones and all that kind of madness, you can definitely relax. There's not too much vehicle interactivity. There's a couple of driving sequences which come out of nowhere, and they are a lot more fun than I thought they'd be.
How much wealth Menedez built over the years. He's been investing in.
This is a little bit of exposition between the good old soldier boys. And there's a couple of bits of this storyline, and don't get me wrong, I do think that the narrative of this game is strong. It has a couple of moments that I'm not quite understanding of just yet, and I don't know if that's because when I was playing this I was really tired, because I was, or if I just didn't pay enough attention at certain parts, but there's like 2 sections that I have absolutely no idea what they were about. And I'm only going to talk about them in the areas that they happen so that I don't spoil it for the people that are just watching. I know that's a novel factor, spoiling a Call of Duty storyline, but there is actually, you know, twists and things that are pretty easy to see coming. And there are also twists that you can change, because this is a game that gives you a lot of choices. And you know when a marketing campaign says, oh, you get to choose, you know, the fate of your team, or you get to choose the outcome, it generally turns into one of those, you know, infomercials where choice is literally pressing start at the beginning of the game, and that's the extent that you get. But on this game, there is a lot of situations, even ones that look seemingly random, or sections where you don't realise you've changed the storyline, or you've changed features of things that are happening now. And that is a really interesting notion. I'm actually going to look up all the possible variants, because I did them by accident and I got 2 completely different outcomes, and I really like that. The only problem is there's achievements associated to it, and I recorded this guide on a different profile so I could get the achievements popping up, because I like to do that just for the people that like to doubt the difficulty. But there's still going to be people not 100% satisfied unless, you know, there's some kind of feature of the game where the difficulty is displayed in the top left hand corner or something, which will probably never become a part of the game, because why would you, you know? The only people that doubt difficulty on the internet are 10-year-olds who can't do it themselves. That's literally it. People blame their own inability on other things, because that's what we do. We externalise, and all they're doing is taking their frustration out on somebody who's already done something they can't do. And as a guide maker, I get that a lot, but, you know, why the fuck would I upload something and then lie about it? You know, it takes long enough to make these guides. Why would I do it under false pretenses and based on a lie? That's just stupid. And an example of the standard guide making procedural for me, I got up yesterday about dinner time. I got Black Ops 2 at about 3 PM. I beat the game, and then I immediately started recording, and at 3 o'clock in the morning I had the guide recorded in one sitting. 2 playthroughs of Veteran, 1 sitting, guide recorded. I then spent the next 2 hours editing, and I edited all the levels together. So that is literally from the moment I woke up to 5 o'clock in the morning getting this guide built. And that's for the people that think I'm going to do all of that under the pretense of a difficulty lie. You think I'm willing to do that, folks? You're insane. But this is the end, guys. There's a little bit more exposition, but I will be trimming it out. Thanks for watching. I hope it's helping, and I hope you're enjoying the game, because I cannot wait to get some multiplayer going, and hopefully I will be trying to get some subscribers in, because, you know, my friends are divided at best at this moment in time, and if you want to play with me, it's a pretty good opportunity to do that. You take care now.